time we get gas, we get a snack. Just like these, but we haven't gotten a snack yet. So, every time we go to a gas station, me and Graham ask, are we getting gas? I like Skittles. These have Skittles in them. There's like a creamy yogurt outside. It's not that creamy though. It's like it tastes different though. Covered. It is nice and warm in here in the van than outside in the cold snow. If you look outside, it's snowing right now. It's pretty insane. Shout out to Skittles, one of the best candy ever. Also Tic Tac. Some of these names are hilarious. The bird that smacked the curb. That's hilarious. Try to pass me by on rye. That's kind of funny. The no luck buck. High speed special. Beep beep your kaboom. Swirl of a squirrel. That's a funny one. The really bad hunter. Ooh, thank you. Look at these fries. Look at these. These are special fries. You rarely see these, and they're super good. Let's try this burger. Can we get like a measuring, like a tape measure here? I think it's probably about, how tall do you think it is? Probably at least 5 inches. I think maybe more than that. I don't know, but let's test out, see how good it tastes. Uh-oh, it's falling. So there's an onion ring on top. Uh-oh. Okay. We're in the town, Route 66. It is snowing right now. It is freezing my hands off even though I have gloves on. Yeah, it's cold.
The movie made this town really famous.
Because Route 66 went in this town, and cars lived on Route 66. So, you work here, and maybe tell us a little bit about Route 66.
Well, Route 66 went from Chicago to Los Angeles, and they called it Main Street of America because it went through all the main streets across America from the East Coast to the West Coast. And that was in November 11th, 1926 is when Route 66 got its name. And people used to travel in front of our store here, about 9,000 people a day. So all the traffic that was on the interstates used to come through this little town. And in 1978, the interstate opened up for Arizona, and this little town of Seligman died. No more traffic. It took minutes to cross the street in front of this doorstep to nothing at all. And when that happened, people in town thought that travelers would return to Route 66, but they didn't. 7 years later, of no economy and nobody coming through town, our federal government decided to do away with Route 66. They decommissioned it and they decertified it. And what that means is when they decommission a road, no more money is going to go into it. So they won't pave it, they won't paint it, they won't fix the bridges. And because of that, they don't want anybody to get hurt. So they decertify it for travel. It's no longer certified to travel. The signs come down, you're erased from maps. And once that happens, they started to bulldozer it. They started to turn it to dirt so people can never travel it again. Well, when that happened, Angel the barber here in Seligman, Angel Delgadillo, decided to do something about it. He started to form the Arizona Route 66 Association, and he started to petition our governor. The governor, to make it historic so that they could put preservation back onto the road. And at first the governor said no because Arizona spent millions of dollars on the interstate. They didn't want to spend any money on a federally decommissioned road. But that didn't slow Angel down. He decided that he had to make Route 66 historic and bring back the economy to the town that he was born and raised in. And he's the same age as Route 66, so he's grown up with all of those cars. And in 1988, he was able to make Route 66 historic. So they had to put preservation. They had to resurface the road, and they had to put up proper signage. And when that happened, we had a ribbon cutting with the mayor, and they cut the ribbon, and we had a classic car show. And if this sounds like the Pixar movie Cars, because he's on that DVD. In the movie Cars, Lightning McQueen resurfaces the road, and they turn on all their neon, and they put on their old school paint jobs. They go cruising around low and slow. Well, that happens once a year in our town, the very first weekend of May. So if you ever want to check that out, I'd love to have you guys over to see that little car show. And so after that, people started to travel again, and this became a barbershop pool hall changed into a gift shop. And he started to sell Route 66 memorabilia, and that is what you see today. Would you like to see some pictures?
Sure, why not? But before we do that,
Yes?
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Are you related to Angel in any sort of way?
I am. I married into the family. I married his youngest daughter, Clarissa, and so he's my father-in-law. And that's how I got the chance to meet him. And we decided to move into Seligman, and for my wife back to Seligman to help out with the family business.
That's interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our wedding picture. Right here. That's me, my wife, Angel, and Vilma, my mother-in-law, my dad, and my mom, and the rest of the family.
Hi.
So when I was telling you that they made it historic and they had to put up proper signage, this is what the design came up with. So this is the signs that you see nowadays throughout the country, but started here in Arizona first. This was our very first dedication and fun run. That happened in 1988 when we had the ribbon cutting and the classic car show. And this is what Pixar do for us. They were here in 2001 to get the story for the movie. And at the time, Toy Story 2 had come out. So that's what he was able to draw. It takes years to do the animation. So they drew these two characters, and they're thanking Angel and his daughter for keeping it alive. And check out the sheriff's badge. See what they did to the sheriff's badge?
Route 66.
Yes, yeah, they changed it because they knew they wanted to do a story about Route 66. And so this is when John Lasseter was just with Pixar, but he sold, and now it's Walt Disney Pixar.
Wow. That is extremely interesting. Thank you for your time.
Oh, yes, you are welcome. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for asking all those wonderful questions.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
A beautiful view. So we're in the majestic Grand Canyon, And if you look over the edge here, almost everything is covered in snow, and it just is all white and beautiful. If you look to the left, though, on the other hand, it's really cloudy and you can barely see inside the mountain.
The Colorado River goes all the way down there.
If you look up at these rocks, you can see there's many different layers. It's like reddish black on those rocks, but as you see down here on these, they're like really sparkly. If that you can see the sun glare on it, it's pretty sparkly, but it's not like much black. It's all more tan now. And if you look over here on the top layer, you can see it's all brown. Go to the second layer, it's all reddish brown and black. Then the lowest layer is really dark red. And if you look over there to the right, it's almost all tan until you get to the very bottom where it's dark red. If you look at all these layers, you can see how all the topography has changed over the many hundreds of years. No, not even many hundreds, many millions and billions of years. This hike is exhausting in the snow, but it's awesome. It's really, if you look at the view over there, it's beautiful, beautiful. What a hole. Find a little fort here. Nice to take a little rest in. You look over here. Whole fort of us. Oh yeah, easily can fit all four of us. It's a secret mountain. Getting tight. Tight fit. Woo! I'm all the way in. Epic.
So, on this little hike here, it's just not as deep sand, which I like better. But yeah, again, we're walking right next to a dry stream, which I think is pretty cool. Look at that big rock. I like how there's just like one loner tree up there. Poor tree. That little tree. That's kind of sad. So, cool thing about this hike is most of the time you're walking right next to this dry stream. Here's a better look at it. Oh, that's a beautiful view of this area over here. Nice dry creek with a dead tree. I always like if you sit like underneath a tree near a stream or like a pond. This is a wonderful hike to go on. Okay, let's just videotape for no, don't do it. Can you just put music in right here and time lapse it so they can just see us walking? Cut.
This hike was very good.
This was my favorite hike of all time.
And it has sand, which I like. Deep sand. And we climbed rocks.
So it was just really off-road the whole time, which I liked instead of it just being paved. Or even just sandy. I just like it going up and down, climbing over rocks, just fun adventure. We're riding today in the Red Rock Jeep Tours. It's a Jeep that just takes you off-roading through Sedona. It takes you through the many trails that you can hike, and also it's extremely fun to do. Hello, it's me, Blake, and we're at Sedona right now, and we're looking at the 7 sacred pools. About the 7 sacred pools is they were created by a wind vortex of rocks falling into these pits, and then the wind circulating around them, which takes away all the sediment of dirt and all the other minerals and materials.
There's actually a little tunnel down there, and snakes and even animals as big as raccoons can get through. Last year we saw a whole family of raccoons down there. It was great. There's a tunnel. You see where the dog is over there with the people? There's a tunnel a little bit toward us that goes to the left.
Oh, like
And it
that?
pops out over in those trees, but the entrance is only about that big. A human can't get through. We appreciate it.
Tarantula, Mom.
That is Slick Willie.
Ooh, that's why he has that name.
Yeah, well, he's a rat snake. Rat snakes come from North America.
Where you going, buddy?
He was going to name him Michelin, which I think is a better name because he looks like a tiger. And he's really very inquisitive. No, he's just checking stuff out.
That's the snake I want. Yeah, rat snake. A rat snake.
You know, I like the.
I'm moving. Are we getting gas?
Yep. Yes, we're getting gas. Okay, now I know the reason why we do two things.
Skittles are my favorite type of candy. This is a mix of Skittles, wild berry, and tropical, and it's a bigger bag.